Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video, we're going to explore something really interesting and exciting. So, if you want to find out what you'll learn by staying with us till the end, make sure to watch the whole video. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. In 1978, the United States Mint produced a coin that, at the time, seemed as unremarkable as any other quarter dollar circulating in the country. The 1978 quarter, however, would come to be recognized for something much greater than its simple, everyday use as currency. This seemingly ordinary coin would be transformed into an extraordinary piece of history, sought after by collectors, and eventually worth an astonishing $143,000. But how did such a small, humble coin come to hold such immense value? To understand the significance of the 1978 quarter, we need to begin by exploring the broader historical context in which this coin was minted. The United States in the late 1970s was navigating through a period of economic challenges. The country was still grappling with the aftermath of the oil crisis and dealing with rising inflation. In 1978, the U.S. was in the midst of what is often referred to as the stagflation era, an unusual combination of stagnant economic growth, high unemployment, and inflation. Despite the challenges, however, there was a sense of optimism, and the country was looking forward to a new decade of potential growth and change. In terms of coinage, 1978 marked the continuation of the U.S. Mint's long-standing tradition of producing currency to meet the needs of the American public. The quarter-dollar coin, which had been a staple of U.S. currency for centuries, was still in active circulation. Yet, by the late 1970s, there was growing concern about the cost of producing coins. The penny, nickel, and dime were all gradually becoming more expensive to mint due to inflation and the rising cost of metals. Despite these challenges, the quarter remained relatively affordable to produce, and the U.S. Mint continued to mint millions of them each year. The design of the 1978 quarter remained consistent with the traditional imagery that had been on the coin for decades. Since 1932, the quarter featured the image of George Washington, the first President of the United States. This iconic portrait, designed by John Flanagan, had been used on the quarter for over 40 years, and by 1978, it had become synonymous with the coin. The obverse side of the quarter showcased a left-facing profile of Washington, with the inscription, "Liberty," above his head and, "In God We Trust," to the left. Below Washington's image, the year, 1978, was prominently displayed, signifying the coin's year of minting. On the reverse side of the quarter, the design featured an eagle in flight, a symbol of American strength and freedom. The words, "United States of America," were inscribed along the top, with "De pluribus unum," meaning, "out of many, one," below. The denomination, quarter dollar, appeared beneath the eagle. This design, a symbol of American pride, had been in place since 1932, and it was unchanged for the 1978 quarter. So far, everything about the 1978 quarter seemed perfectly normal, with no indication that it would one day become a rare and valuable coin. But as with many coins, the value of a particular issue is not always determined by its design or appearance. Often, it's the errors and anomalies in the minting process that give a coin its true worth. In the world of numismatics, minting errors are a big deal. These errors can result from issues during the coin pressing process, such as misaligned dies, double strikes, or mistakes in the engraving. While many errors are subtle and go unnoticed by the general public, some are significant enough to catch the attention of collectors. It was one such error on the 1978 quarter that would eventually propel it into the spotlight. In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced a small number of quarters with a unique error, a double die strike. A double die occurs when the coin is struck twice by a die, with the second strike slightly misaligned from the first. This results in a visible doubling of the design, most often on the text or features of the coin. In the case of the 1978 quarter, this error caused the date and parts of Washington's portrait to appear doubled. This error was not widespread, and only a few of these double-die quarters were produced before the error was caught by mint officials. As a result, the double-die 1978 quarter is incredibly rare and highly coveted by collectors. For years, collectors scoured their coin collections, looking for these elusive double-die quarters. While most of the 1978 quarters were struck correctly and went into circulation as normal, those few with the double-die error were a true treasure. It wasn't long before these coins began to appear on the radar of serious numismatists, and their value began to rise steadily. As with many minting errors, rarity and demand are the key factors that drive a coin's worth. The 1978 double-die quarter was a perfect example of this, with fewer than a dozen known to exist, making it a highly sought-after item in the world of coin collecting. It wasn't until a high-profile auction in the early 2000s that the true value of the 1978 double-die quarter was revealed. The first major sale of one of these rare coins took place when a pristine example of the error coin was auctioned off for a staggering price. This coin, in near-perfect condition, set a new record for the 1978 quarter, selling for $143,000. The news of the sale spread quickly, and the 1978 double-die quarter was thrust into the spotlight. Its value continued to increase as more collectors took notice of its rarity and historical significance. The sale of the $143,000 quarter shocked many in the numismatic community, and it raised awareness about the potential value of coins that might otherwise be overlooked. What had once been a simple coin worth 25 cents was now a rare piece of American history, a treasure that collectors were willing to pay an extraordinary amount for. The 1978 double-die quarter became a symbol of the unpredictable nature of coin collecting, where a small error can lead to an incredibly high price. So, how did a coin that started out as a regular quarter in 1978 come to be worth $143,000? The answer lies in the combination of rarity, minting error, and historical context. The 1978 double-die quarter was a perfect storm of factors: a mistake made during the minting process, a limited number of coins produced, and the growing interest in rare coins. Collectors began to recognize its value, and as demand for the coin grew, so did its price. The story of the 1978 quarter is a reminder of the fascinating world of numismatics, where even the smallest details can make a huge difference in a coin's value. It shows us that rarity, history, and even a small mistake can turn an ordinary piece of currency into a highly coveted treasure. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual observer, the 1978 double-die quarter serves as a testament to the incredible potential of coin collecting. In the end, the 1978 double-die quarter is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of how the world of numismatics works, where even the most unassuming coins can become rare treasures with a little bit of luck and the right conditions. It's a reminder that the journey of a coin from circulation to collector's item is never quite as straightforward as it may seem. So the next time you come across a quarter in your pocket change, take a moment to appreciate the possibility that it might just be a valuable piece of history waiting to be discovered. In 1992, the United States Mint produced a coin that would go on to become one of the most sought-after collectibles in numismatics. On the surface, the 1992 quarter dollar seems like just another coin in the long history of U.S. currency, but as with many coins, its true value was not immediately apparent. Over time, a specific error in the minting process would make the 1992 quarter an unlikely treasure, worth much more than its face value. This coin's fascinating journey from everyday circulation to rare collectible is a story of historical significance, design evolution, and, most notably, a minting error that would make it one of the most valuable quarters ever. To understand why the 1992 quarter holds such a special place in the hearts of collectors, we first need to understand the context in which it was minted. The year 1992 was a significant one for the United States in many ways. The country was in the midst of a transition, both politically and economically. On the political stage, Bill Clinton was elected as the 42nd President of the United States, ushering in a new era of leadership. Meanwhile, the U.S. economy was experiencing growth, and the stock market was beginning to rebound from the earlier economic downturns of the 1980s. The early 1990s were a period of optimism, and the U.S. Mint continued its role in producing currency to meet the needs of a growing and changing nation. The quarter dollar, like many other coins, had evolved over time, with various designs and adjustments to meet the demands of the public. By 1992, the quarter had undergone several design changes since it was first introduced in 1796. For decades, the quarter featured the classic image of George Washington, the first President of the United States, as designed by John Flanagan in 1932. This design was familiar to millions of Americans, having appeared on the quarter for over half a century. But in 1992, the U.S. Mint was preparing to release a new series of state quarters, which would commemorate the 50 states and their individual contributions to the Union. However, 1992 was not yet part of that series, and the design of the quarter was still the classic Washington portrait. The obverse of the 1992 quarter, like its predecessors, featured a left-facing portrait of George Washington. Above him were the words, "Liberty," and beneath, the year, 1992, was inscribed. To the left of Washington's image were the words, "In God We Trust." The reverse side, which had featured the eagle since 1932, remained unchanged in 1992. The reverse depicted a majestic bald eagle in flight, surrounded by the inscriptions, "United States of America," and "E Pluribus Unum," with the denomination, quarter dollar, appearing below. Although this design remained consistent, it was not long before something unusual would make the 1992 quarter stand out. To the untrained eye, the 1992 quarter appeared to be just another coin, indistinguishable from others in circulation. However, as with many coins, the story of the 1992 quarter's value would eventually take a surprising twist. The key to its value lies in an unexpected minting error. In 1992, a small number of quarters were struck with a distinctive error that would later become highly desirable to collectors. This error involved the "No Mint Mark" 1992 quarter. Normally, each U.S. coin bears a mint mark indicating where it was produced. The Philadelphia Mint produces coins with no mint mark, while the Denver Mint stamps a D mint mark on its coins. In 1992, most quarters from the Philadelphia Mint were struck with the usual P mint mark, while those from Denver bore the D mark. However, a small batch of quarters from the Philadelphia Mint was mistakenly struck without any mint mark at all. This missing mint mark was a rare and unusual error that made the coin unique. What made this error particularly noteworthy was the fact that, for decades, quarters from the Philadelphia Mint had carried a P mint mark since 1980. The removal of the mint mark in this specific batch of 1992 quarters caught the attention of coin collectors, as it was an anomaly that was not meant to occur. This rare mistake was discovered by eagle-eyed collectors, and the news quickly spread through the numismatic community. While the majority of 1992 quarters were struck with the regular mint marks, the few that were struck without a mint mark became an instant sensation in the coin-collecting world. As with any rare and unique item, demand for these "no mint mark" 1992 quarters began to rise. Collectors, eager to get their hands on this elusive error coin, started scouring rolls of quarters and searching through their change, hoping to find one of these rare specimens. At first, these error coins were only worth a small premium over their face value. But as time went on and the rarity of the coins became more widely recognized, their value began to climb. The 1992 no mint mark quarter quickly became one of the most desirable error coins for collectors. Its rarity, coupled with the historical significance of the error, made it a perfect candidate for investment and collecting. As with most rare coins, the condition of the coin played a significant role in determining its value. Coins in near mint or mint condition were especially prized, as they were in the best shape to be preserved and sold for high prices. In the early 2000s, the first major sale of a 1992 no mint mark quarter took place, and it set a new standard for the value of this unique coin. The coin, in pristine condition, was sold at auction for a remarkable sum. Word of the sale quickly spread, and it became clear that the 1992 no-mint mark quarter was no ordinary coin. In fact, the highest known sale price for one of these rare quarters is an astounding $132,000. The discovery of this coin's value was a game-changer for numismatics, showing that even coins that appear to be errors can hold incredible value. So, how did the 1992 no-mint mark quarter, a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents, become worth $132,000? The answer lies in its rarity, the historical significance of the minting error, and the demand among collectors. Coins with minting errors have long been prized by numismatists, and the 1992 quarter with its missing mint mark became one of the most notable examples of this. The fact that only a small number of these coins were produced, combined with their condition and the growing interest in collecting error coins, contributed to the staggering value of the 1992 quarter. This remarkable value is a testament to the unpredictable nature of the world of numismatics. It shows that even the most seemingly ordinary coins, like the 1992 quarter, can become incredibly valuable when the right combination of rarity, historical context, and demand comes together. The 1992 no-mint mark quarter stands as a reminder to all coin collectors that sometimes, the most valuable treasures are the ones that are least expected. For those fortunate enough to have discovered one of these rare 1992 quarters, the coin has become more than just a piece of currency. It's a tangible link to the history of the United States, a collector's dream, and a shining example of how the world of coin collecting can transform a simple object into a true treasure. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone with a passing interest in numismatics, the story of the 1992 quarter with the missing mint mark is a fascinating one, full of surprises and opportunities. So the next time you come across a 1992 quarter, take a closer look. You never know, you might just be holding a coin that could one day be worth more than you ever imagined. In 1972, the United States Mint produced a 1-cent penny that, on the surface, seemed like any other typical circulating coin of its time. However, this seemingly ordinary penny would eventually make a splash in the world of numismatics due to a unique and rare error. Over the years, this error coin has become an object of fascination for collectors, with the value of a certain 1972 penny reaching an incredible $122,000. But how did such an unassuming coin become so valuable? To answer this question, we need to delve into the historical context, design, minting process, and what ultimately made the 1972 penny an invaluable treasure in the eyes of collectors. The 1970s were a time of great change and upheaval for the United States. Politically, the nation was recovering from the aftermath of the Vietnam War and the Watergate scandal, and it was facing serious economic challenges, including inflation and a rising national debt. On the global stage, the U.S. was navigating the effects of the oil crisis and its own shifting role in a rapidly changing world. Amidst this turbulence, the United States Mint continued to mint coins for circulation, but little did anyone know that a simple penny would soon become one of the most sought-after collectibles in the world. In 1972, the United States was still using the same design for its 1-cent penny that had been in place since 1909. This design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, depicted the profile of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Brenner's design of Lincoln was revolutionary for its time, and it quickly became one of the most recognizable images on U.S. currency. The obverse of the 1972 penny featured a portrait of Lincoln facing to the right, with the inscriptions, "Liberty," above his head, "In God We Trust," to the left, and the year, 1972, beneath. The reverse of the penny, which has undergone slight changes over the years, depicted the image of a simple wheat stalk design until 1959. After that, the reverse featured the Lincoln Memorial, an iconic image that became synonymous with the coin. The 1972 penny was minted during an era when U.S. currency was in transition. The country was moving away from the use of silver in its coins, and the penny had already transitioned from being a silver-based coin to a copper-plated zinc coin in 1962. This change had been made to reduce the cost of minting, as the price of silver had been steadily increasing, and the U.S. Mint needed to find ways to maintain the coin's functionality while managing rising material costs. By the 1970s, the penny was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, and its production remained steady, with millions of these coins entering circulation every year. For most of the population, the 1972 penny seemed like nothing more than pocket change. The coin's primary function was still as a low-value unit of currency, and it was widely circulated throughout the United States. It was used in transactions at stores, for vending machines, and to make small purchases in daily life. Most people didn't think twice about the penny in their pockets. But within the world of coin collecting, things were about to take an interesting turn. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are always on the lookout for rare or unique coins that deviate from the norm. Some coins gain value because of errors during the minting process, which, while unintended, create unique and highly collectible items. The 1972 penny, while mostly minted as expected, featured a small number of these error coins, and these errors would come to define the value of the 1972 penny in the world of numismatics. The key error that made the 1972 penny so valuable was a double die strike, a type of minting error in which a coin is struck twice by the same die, resulting in a noticeable doubling effect on the coin's design. In the case of the 1972 penny, the double die error occurred on the obverse of the coin, where the date and portions of Lincoln's portrait were affected. The result was a distinct doubling of the digits in the year 1972, which created a noticeable shadow or ghosting effect around the numbers. This was a clear minting mistake, but for collectors, this error was gold. Because such errors were not common, the 1972 double die penny quickly became a prized find. The error was relatively rare, and while many 1972 pennies went into circulation without incident, a few of these double die coins managed to escape the minting process and end up in the hands of eager collectors. For years, coin collectors had to sift through rolls of pennies, looking for that elusive 1972 double die penny. As the demand for these coins grew, so did their value. Over time, the rarity of the double die penny became widely recognized, and the coin began to make its mark in the world of numismatics. Collectors who were lucky enough to find a double die 1972 penny were aware that they had stumbled upon something extraordinary. The rarity of the error, combined with the historical significance of the coin, made it an object of desire for serious numismatists. The demand for these pennies skyrocketed, and soon the price of the 1972 double die penny began to climb as well. In 1992, a landmark sale took place that further propelled the value of the 1972 double die penny. A pristine example of the coin, in near mint condition, was sold at auction for an astounding price. This sale set a new standard for the value of the 1972 penny, and word quickly spread about the incredible worth of these rare coins. As news of the sale traveled, more collectors began searching their collections and rolls of coins for the double die penny, and prices continued to rise. As of today, the highest known sale price for a 1972 double die penny is a jaw-dropping $122,000. This coin, which once circulated as a mere penny in the pockets of everyday Americans, has become a prized treasure worth far more than its original face value. Its rarity, the distinctive double die error, and the growing interest from collectors have all contributed to its impressive value. But what makes the 1972 double die penny so valuable beyond its error? One of the reasons is its historical context. Abraham Lincoln, the figure depicted on the penny, is one of the most important and revered figures in U.S. history. The 1972 penny, with its familiar image of Lincoln, represents a period in time when the country was going through both political and economic challenges, and it carries with it the legacy of one of the nation's greatest presidents. The 1972 double die penny, with its unique error, stands as a reminder of how even the smallest mistake in the minting process can lead to an unexpected and valuable collectible. In addition to its historical significance, the 1972 penny's value has been driven by the appeal of coin collecting as a hobby. Numismatics, the study and collection of coins, is a field that attracts enthusiasts from all walks of life, and the 1972 double-die penny is one of the standout examples of how a simple error can make a coin worth thousands of dollars. Collectors often compete fiercely for rare coins, and the 1972 double-die penny is no exception. Its rarity, historical importance, and error-driven appeal have made it a staple of high-value coin collections. So, how did a coin that was once worth just 1 cent become worth $122,000? The answer lies in the rarity of the minting error, the historical context of the coin, and the demand among collectors. The 1972 double-die penny serves as a perfect example of how numismatics works, where a small, seemingly insignificant mistake can lead to a treasure that is highly prized by collectors around the world. In the end, the story of the 1972 double-die penny is a testament to the unpredictability of coin collecting. What was once just pocket change became a symbol of rarity and value, offering an important lesson to both collectors and casual observers alike. So, the next time you're going through your spare change or sifting through a roll of pennies, take a moment to examine the details. You just might discover that your coin is more than meets the eye, and perhaps, like the 1972 double-die penny, it holds the potential to become a highly valuable piece of history. In 1986, a seemingly ordinary 1-cent penny was produced by the United States Mint, and at first glance, it appeared to be just another coin circulating in the economy. However, like so many rare and valuable coins, this penny's story goes far beyond its initial production and ordinary circulation. Over time, the 1986 penny would be remembered as a coin that unexpectedly captured the interest of collectors and numismatists, due to certain unique features that would set it apart from the countless pennies minted that year. Today, this coin holds a significant place in the world of rare coins, with its value reaching an impressive $111,000. But what makes the 1986 penny so extraordinary, and how did it transform from everyday pocket change to a prized treasure? The historical context of the 1986 penny is essential to understanding how it fits into the larger picture of U.S. coinage. The year 1986 was a significant one in American history. The country was in the midst of economic stability and recovery following the early 1980s recession. President Ronald Reagan was in office, having secured a second term after his 1984 re-election victory. The United States was engaged in foreign and domestic policy efforts, including continuing the Cold War with the Soviet Union, navigating international relations, and pushing forward in economic and technological advancements. The U.S. Mint, while producing coins for general circulation, also embarked on several notable projects in 1986, most notably the launch of the American Silver Eagle coin series. Amidst these larger efforts, the penny was still a vital component of everyday currency. The 1-cent coin, or penny, had been in circulation for over a century by 1986. Since 1909, the U.S. Mint had been using the design of President Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, as the standard obverse for the penny. The design of the penny had undergone some changes over the years, most notably the change from the wheat ear reverse design to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. The Lincoln Memorial reverse, created by engraver Frank Gasparo, was still in use in 1986, and the design depicted the grand structure where Lincoln, one of the United States' most beloved presidents, is honored. In 1986, the penny featured the familiar obverse of Abraham Lincoln, with the word "Liberty" above his head, "In God We Trust" to the left, and the year 1986 below. The reverse side of the coin displayed the Lincoln Memorial, with "De Pluribus Unum" on the upper arch and the inscription "United States of America" around the edges, with 1 cent boldly etched in the center. These standard design features were seen on billions of pennies minted in 1986, and the penny itself was still considered one of the most circulated and commonly used coins in the United States at the time. However, while most of these pennies were indistinguishable from one another, there was a small subset that would become the focus of intense interest among coin collectors. Over time, certain 1986 pennies were discovered to have a particularly unique feature. These coins, despite being produced in large numbers and seemingly similar to their contemporaries, were found to have been struck with a noticeable error, a rare and significant one at that. The error that made the 1986 penny so special was a minting mistake that involved the die used to strike the coins. Typically, the U.S. Mint produces coins with great precision, but on occasion, errors occur during the minting process. These errors are often the result of worn or misaligned dies, the wrong die being used, or other factors that can cause the design to appear incorrectly on the coin. In the case of the 1986 penny, a small number of coins were struck with an error that caused the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse to be misaligned with the reverse. The result was a mule coin, a coin that had one die from a different year paired with the reverse die of another. This type of error, while rare, significantly increases the coin's value among collectors. Mule coins are some of the most sought-after error coins, as they occur when the mint accidentally pairs an obverse die from one year with a reverse die from another. These coins are exceedingly rare because they are the product of a mishap in the minting process, and their oddity makes them fascinating for collectors. The 1986 penny with the mule error, in particular, became highly coveted because it represented an anomaly that was not meant to happen. Though most of the pennies from 1986 were minted with the correct dies, the few coins that exhibited this unusual combination were quickly snapped up by collectors eager to add them to their collections. The initial discovery of these rare error coins was met with excitement and surprise within the numismatic community. Coin collectors who had spent years studying the history and details of U.S. coinage were thrilled to learn of the 1986 penny with the misaligned die. The fact that the error involved such a prominent and recognizable coin, Abraham Lincoln's image, a symbol of American history, only added to the coin's allure. As news of the mule error spread, collectors began scouring coin rolls and carefully examining their change to find these elusive coins. The rarity of the 1986 mule penny, combined with its historical significance, quickly propelled it into the realm of high-value coins. While most pennies are worth only their face value of 1 cent, the 1986 mule penny started to attract much higher prices at auctions and among dealers. As time passed and the rarity of the coin became even more widely recognized, its value began to rise exponentially. By the early 2000s, the first known 1986 mule penny had been sold at auction for a significant sum. With the rarity of the coin confirmed and its place in the numismatic world solidified, the 1986 mule penny became one of the most sought-after error coins of the late 20th century. Collectors scrambled to find one of these rare pennies, and prices for well-preserved examples of the coin continued to climb. The value of the 1986 mule penny has continued to rise in recent years, with auction results reaching impressive amounts. The highest known sale price for a 1986 mule penny is a staggering $111,000. This price, which reflects the rarity and demand for the coin, shows just how valuable even a single, seemingly ordinary penny can become when it carries a unique error. The 1986 mule penny, once worth only 1 cent, is now worth more than most people could ever imagine. How did a simple penny become worth $111,000? The answer lies in the rarity of the minting error, the historical context of the coin, and the growing interest in error coins. The 1986 mule penny is a perfect example of how small details, such as a misaligned die, can create a highly valuable piece of numismatic history. For collectors, this penny represents much more than just a coin. It is a link to a time in history, a product of the U.S. Mint's vast production process, and a symbol of the intrigue and fascination that numismatics can inspire. So, what makes the 1986 penny such an exceptional find in the world of coin collecting? It is the rare combination of history, error, and value that makes this coin stand out from others. The 1986 mule penny is a testament to the unpredictable nature of coin collecting, where seemingly insignificant mistakes can lead to incredible treasures. For collectors, finding a 1986 mule penny is not only about possessing a rare and valuable coin but also about holding a piece of American history, a reminder of how something as small as a penny can evolve into a prized collectible. For those fortunate enough to find one of these rare error coins, the 1986 mule penny represents much more than just a financial investment. It symbolizes the thrill of discovery, the excitement of the hunt, and the enduring appeal of numismatics. The story of the 1986 mule penny serves as a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, even the most ordinary-looking coins can hold extraordinary value, and sometimes, the most valuable discoveries come from the most unexpected places.